Hi guys, my name is Jessica Varner. I'm with Move by BJC. I'm one of the exercise physiologists here and a movement specialist. Thank you for joining me for our progressive mobility class. This will be a 4-week series. We'll get started today with a brief assessment, move into some soft tissue work and some general stretching, and then we'll advance the program as we move through the next few weeks. All right, so to get started today, we need 2, maybe 3 pieces of equipment. So we're gonna have a foam roller of any length, a band, and a strap. So the band and the strap will become interchangeable. Whichever you have handy at home is absolutely fine. We're gonna start with our assessment today, just to get you guys started. So as we mentioned in the paperwork that you received upon signing up for this program, I do highly recommend videotaping yourself, just setting your phone next to you. We will redo this assessment at the end of the program, and then that will allow you to see your progress over the next 4 weeks. So we're gonna start feet hip width apart, just standing in a nice neutral stance. We're gonna start with a toe touch. So we're gonna reach hands up overhead and exhale to just fold wherever your body falls. Just kind of take a mental note of where your hands land. Do they touch the mat? Do they touch your ankles? Maybe your mid shins? Maybe you don't even quite get to the knees. Hang out here, assess that real quick. Take another deep breath to stand up. And we're just gonna do that one more time. So a big deep breath to reach up to the sky, and then exhale to fold again. Again, just taking a look at where you are, where do those hands land, and then gently roll yourself back up. Movement number 2, we're just gonna assess our squat. So standing feet shoulder width apart, take another 6 to 8 inches between the feet for this one. We're gonna reach the arms up overhead to take our upper body out of this movement, and just squat to a nice comfortable depth for you, and right back up. Relax the arms. We'll do one more. Arms reach straight up, feet are shoulder width apart, keeping the chest up and the heels down, squat, and coming back up. Perfect. So take a look, think about how that felt. You'll be able to take a look at your camera afterwards and see what that looked like. And then as we move through, hopefully that will become a little bit easier. So this next one, we have 2 options. We're gonna come to a kneeling position. You can either use a wall or your foam roller here. I'm gonna show you with a foam roller, but either will work. So we're gonna stand the foam roller up tall, set your foot, make a fist. We're gonna set the foot a fist length away from the foam roller or wall, whichever you're using. Relax the back leg. The front leg is working here. So we're gonna drive the heel into the ground and gently press the knee towards the wall or foam roller. We're not gonna knock the foam roller over or anything. We're not driving the knee through the wall, but just seeing if we can reach there. If that's pretty simple, we'll back up about 2 inches, maybe an inch. Same thing, drive that heel straight down and just gently reaching the knee towards the wall. What we're looking for here is your ankle dorsiflexion, so how much flexion you have in that foot, and whether or not you can reach the wall, keeping your heel glued to the ground. Go ahead and come back up, and we're just gonna assess the opposite side. So now your right leg comes down nice and relaxed. Again, a fist length between the foam roller or your wall. Nice tall posture, and then gently reaching the knee towards the foam roller or wall. You'll probably notice that there's a bit of a difference from one side to the other. That's absolutely normal and something that we'll work on throughout this program. Go ahead and back yourself up an inch or 2 if you were able to reach the wall there, and we'll repeat one more time. So you can see, even just in watching this video, my left ankle is a little tighter than my right. Totally normal, like I mentioned. Go ahead and relax, come back up. And we are now going to come to a kneeling position, whatever is comfortable for you here. So we'll be down on the ground. This is going to take our lower body out of our upper body assessment. So I'm actually gonna turn my back to you. Hips rest on the heels, whatever is comfortable. We're gonna relax the hands down by the side and reach your right arm up and over your head, your left arm up and back towards your shoulder blades. Trying to reach those fingertips towards one another and release. We'll do the same side one more time. Hang out here for a second. Think about how your shoulders feel. Can you feel the fingertips of your opposite hand? Maybe you can clasp the fingertips all the way together. Relax. And we'll do the same thing opposite side. So left arm reaches up and over. Right arm reaches back and around. Again, you'll notice a difference. It will probably be visible and you'll be able to feel it. Relax. One side is almost always tighter than the other. One more time here. Left arm reaches up, right arm wraps around, and release. For our next, we have two more here. Next one, we're gonna come back against the wall. Just a nice rested position here. You're gonna press your back, hips, and shoulders into the wall. So we have a nice strong core, a good tall posture, pressing against the wall. Palms face away from your body as we lift the arms up overhead. So this is a nice lat mobility movement. Relax. Press the hips into the wall. I felt myself kind of slipping away there. If you notice that, or if you start to pull your chest away to get your hands there, we just stop. So we want to keep the back nice and flat as we lift those hands up overhead, as close to the wall as you can get. Again, we're checking mobility. We're not performing at someone else's movement capacity. So just wherever you reach today, and relax. Go ahead and bring those arms back down. And your final assessment today is going to be a plank hold. So all of the mobility work that we do is also going to be based on core strength here. So I'm gonna set myself up and we are just gonna hold. Our goal is 30 seconds. Nothing crazy. 30-second plank. Might sound easy for some of you, might sound like forever for some of you. But I'm gonna set my timer. Holding a plank for 30 seconds is a great starting point. So go ahead and meet me on your mat, on your belly. We're gonna set elbows underneath shoulders and tuck the toes. From here, pull the shoulders back and down the spine. Squeeze the glutes to lift the knees up off the mat. Tuck the tail to brace the core and lift the hips up off the mat there. Timer is going for 30 seconds. Try and meet me here and stay as long as you can. If you need to, we can come to knees or just come all the way down when you can no longer hold this plank. We're over halfway. Thumbs are up to the sky here. Elbows stay right underneath the shoulders as your forearms drive into the mat. Gently relax the hips to the mat and come on up. That's all we have for our assessment. So go ahead and pause the video real quick. If you had your phone rolling, you can go ahead and pause that and we are good to go to get started with our soft tissue work for the day. I'll get my foam roller here. We're gonna start seated with the foam roller underneath our legs. So we'll start nice and simple with the calves. Again, the length of your foam roller does not matter here. Some of them are about 18 inches, 24. This one here that I have is 36. I am going to slide the foam roller so that I'm only focusing on one leg at a time. That way my opposite leg can be a nice base of support and I don't have a bunch of weight in my arms. So my arms are going to reach back, kind of like you're hanging out on the beach here, right? So left foot is gonna step in towards my body as I lift my hips and gently just roll back and forth here. Slow and controlled on the foam roller. This is gonna be your homework for the week. So pay attention to how this feels. You might notice a knot in one spot or another that just feels a little bit tighter. Hang out there for a second and do a couple of ankle pumps. So I have a knot right at the top of my calf, close to my knee. So I'm gonna do a couple of pumps here, just flexing the toes up and down. And relax. And continue to roll. If you find another spot, or if that spot still seems to persist and cause you a little bit of discomfort, you can stay there a little longer. And then we'll gradually just walk our way down the calf. Getting closer to the ankle as we move through. You can, depending on space, you can move the foam roller or you can move, of course, whichever is easier for you. We'll go right to the base of the ankle and then back up the leg. One thing to keep in mind when you're foam rolling here, two actually, The more relaxed your muscles are, the more advantage you're gonna get out of this. The more comfortable or less uncomfortable it will be also. You'll start to notice the more relaxed that you can be, the deeper the tissue work will become and the less uncomfortable it is. Also, we never want to roll directly on a bone. So whenever you're moving through the ankle here, you never want to come all the way down to the heel or directly behind the knee. Go ahead and relax, and we will make our way. We'll of course do this on both sides, but for filming purposes, we're gonna just make our way up the leg. So we're gonna start with hamstrings. You're in the exact same position here. We just move the foam roller closer to the body. So here we start right at the knee and roll towards the hips. Back and forth, and then as we move through the hamstring complex, the hamstrings, as you may or may not know, are actually a combination of 3 muscles. So we're gonna kind of rotate the hip back and forth here. So I'm gonna have you turn your toes towards your body. So we externally rotate the hip, internally rotate. Rolling back and forth. You'll feel this a little more on the inner thigh, the inside, the middle of the back of your thigh. And then we'll turn toes straight up to the sky, right in the middle, in the heart of the hamstring. And then we'll externally rotate, turning the toes out for the outer portion of the hamstring. Just allowing the foot to drag, keeping those muscles relaxed like we talked about with the calves. And go ahead and relax. We'll drop the hips onto the mat. We have one more here for the lower body setting. So we are actually going to come all the way up and have a seat on your foam roller. So this can be a little tricky. You saw how I just got on. I just kind of moved the foam roller underneath and lifted myself. Another option is to set the foam roller behind you. Bring the feet into the body as close as you can, hands back behind just like we did with calves and hamstrings, and then lift and have a seat. The foam roller will move, so just be careful there. Once you're here, we're gonna have a seat. Take your left ankle, cross it over your right knee. So now you've got weight in the right leg and the left arm. We're gonna lean towards that left knee, that open hip, and foam roll the glutes here. So nice and easy back and forth. This is one of the more tender spots, so take your time here. And again, just like that hamstring, we can kind of roll. You can set that right hand down, kind of rolling from side to side here in the hips, but again, avoiding the bony aspects of the body. So we don't want to roll so far that we're hitting the top of the iliac or right in the middle where we're right on that sacrum. Back and forth. And again, if you find a tender spot, just kind of add some movement here. So we'll bring the knee towards the chest and then back open. And then relax. And as you practice this throughout the week leading up to week 2, you'll notice the more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes, the less intense some of those trigger points will become, and the easier it will be to maneuver these positions. Go ahead and relax. So we're gonna roll over onto our bellies now for this next one. We're gonna hit the quads and then we'll move into upper body. So again, one side of the body at a time. That will give you leverage from the opposite side. We'll be on our stomachs, very similar to that plank position, with elbows directly under shoulders. My opposite leg is gonna be nice and tight on the floor. Toes are tucked in, and then this leg is just hanging out, doing whatever it wants. Using that back foot and my forearms, I'm gently going to roll myself forward and back. So my right leg should be as relaxed as it can be, right? So my toes are just kind of dragging back and forth on the floor, walking the elbows forward like an army crawl, and then back. And again, The quads are a complex of 4 muscles, so adding that hip rotation in and out. Here, whenever we find a trigger point or a spot that's a little more uncomfortable than the rest of the leg, let's see, there's one. We're gonna add some knee flexion and extension. So just bringing the heel in towards the bottom and gently allowing the foot to drop back out. So my quad is still relaxed. It's like a hamstring curl, right? So my quad is relaxed. My hamstring is pulling my heel in and then back down. And then start to roll again, see if we can find another spot. Always adjusting the foam roller. It will move up and down on your mat as you roll back and forth. So adjust when needed to make sure you're hitting the entirety of the muscle, the entire length here. And go ahead and relax. We're gonna roll onto our backs here. Last one with this foam roller. We're gonna go into some upper back work. So this is my personal favorite, most people's favorite, because it feels the most like a real massage. So we're gonna hang out, hands will cradle the head so that your neck can be nice and relaxed. And just kind of allow your back to bend over that foam roller. Head comes towards the floor behind you, hips stay down. Remember, we're testing and training our own mobility, so if you don't look exactly like me, that is a good thing, right? Bring the head back up. We're gonna move down the foam roller slightly, so the foam roller comes towards the belly button just a little bit. Allow the head to hang again. Working on some thoracic spine extension here. When we're working the back with our foam roller, we never want to take the foam roller below our belly button. So stay where you are, but just as an example, that foam roller is not gonna be right at my low back where I'm bending backwards, right? That puts a lot of force on my lumbar spine, a lot of tension in that extension that is not necessary, and we don't have the rib cage there to protect us. So a good target for that is to keep the foam roller above your belly button. That's an easier point to think about. Another 10 seconds here with this extension, moving the foam roller up and down between the tops of the shoulder blades and just above the belly button here. Keeping that head cradled. And then go ahead and lift the head, feet stay in this same position. We're gonna lift the hips and begin to roll up and down that spine, that upper back. And again, rolling side to side, we can relax one arm and kind of roll towards that side. Keeping the head relaxed in the hands. And then switch whenever it feels appropriate. And relax. Go ahead and set the hips all the way down. We're gonna move the foam roller out of the way. And our final movement for today is going to be crocodile breathing. So I'm going to have you lie all the way flat like a crocodile. We're an upside down crocodile here, right? So my arms are gonna come out to the side, palms up to the sky, legs just kind of hang nice and relaxed. Take 3 deep breaths wherever your breath travels to. So the reason we call this crocodile breathing, you will begin to notice as you watch the screen that my chest isn't moving, but my belly is. just like a crocodile. Staying in this position, we're gonna take left hand to navel, right hand to chest, just wherever they fall, and you're gonna start to feel this. So we'll take a big deep breath and exhale everything out. I want you to pay attention to your hands moving. Your right hand should feel like it's not floating away or moving at all, whereas your left hand, your belly feels like it's pressing it away from the rest of your body and the floor, and then sinking back into the mat as you exhale. Two more deep breaths here. And relax. Bring the arms to the side. We'll roll over to the left side and bring yourself up to a nice comfortable seat. So thank you for joining me for week 1 of our mobility progression. Your homework for this week, as you read in your handout that you received, will be foam rolling and your breathing. So one tip that I have for your breathing is to practice that at bed or at bedtime as you're going to sleep. If we lie on our backs nice and flat, this puts us in a very relaxed position, as you just felt, and this will also allow us, even if we fall asleep in this position, practicing that breathing, we will subconsciously continue to breathe in this manner, making it more and more natural throughout your everyday. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week.
Hey guys, my name is Bake McBride. I am the Assistant Manager and Group Fitness Director here at Move by BJC. And I want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to join us for this session. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can jump on the website at www.movebybjc.org, or you can give us a call, 314-286-0525. Thanks again.